On today's episode, 5 ideas to inspire your creativity. I'm Jeremy Fisher. This is The Awakening. The root of the word inspire can be traced back to the Latin word inspirare, which means to blow into or breathe upon. It's kind of like the idea of giving CPR. When you inspire someone else, it can be like you've breathed new life into them. Hearing stories can be inspiring, and hearing ideas can be inspiring. So what better than a story about ideas? If 2020 knocked the wind out of your sails, and you need a breath of fresh air, I wrote this one for you. Mandy just woke up from a long night of not sleeping very well. Last night her boyfriend sent her a confusing text that she's trying not to read too much into, but she can't help it. But she can't really think about that right now. Mandy has too many other things going on to be distracted. She pulls herself out of bed and heads into her bathroom to get her day started. She picks up her makeup brush, only to find that her brush is globbed up. She knows if she uses this brush, it's going to make her makeup look blotchy. She finds that all of her brushes are like this, and she can't believe she's going to have to buy more brushes. It seems like she just bought new ones last month. That's when Mandy has an idea. Someone should invent an automatic makeup brush cleaner that's like a small dishwasher, or maybe it fits inside of a dishwasher. Whatever it does, it protects and washes the brushes. Washing dishes by hand has gone the way of the dodo, but what about washing makeup brushes? Most people Mandy knows just throw their brushes away and buy new ones. That can be costly, and it's kind of wasteful. This thing would pay for itself many times over in brush savings, especially in industries like the entertainment industry, where heavy makeup wearing is a daily activity. Plus, it would make a great gift. Oh, crap, Mandy thinks. Speaking of gifts, tomorrow's Emily's birthday. Emily's Mandy's cousin. Emily and Mandy used to be really close when they were younger, but Emily moved away a few years back. They still try to stay in touch, though. What should I get Emily? Mandy thinks. She likes to work out. Maybe I can buy her a Peloton. Mandy does a quick Google search. $2,000? Emily, I like you, but not that much. I really don't have time for this. I love Emily and need to get a gift, but I don't know what. And that's when Mandy has an idea. I wish there was a browser plugin that would scan Emily's social media profile and give me a list of gift ideas based on her profile and posting history. That way, I could be sure that a gift idea that was suggested for me was relevant, interesting, and specifically one that Emily would like. It would be so much better than me just doing a Google search for birthday gift ideas. I could sell the plugin for a couple bucks each, and people like me would be able to find great gifts for all their friends. Mandy looked down at her phone and realizes she really needs to get a move on if she's not going to be late for work. She throws on a shirt and leggings that she hopes are clean, and heads into the living room to grab her shoes. Her attention is caught by the potted plant she has sitting on the table. It looks a little dry and wilted, which makes her sad. Mandy's dad gave her that peace lily a few months ago, and though Mandy doesn't have a green thumb, she really wants to try to keep it alive. When's the last time I watered that plant, she says. I have no idea. That's when Mandy had an idea. There should be a pot for potted plants that changes color when it needs to be watered. If the pot changed from a blue color to a red color when it gets dry, I wouldn't have to keep track of when it needs water, she thought. I have so much on my plate already, this would make things so much easier. She rushes to the kitchen and reaches for a coffee mug that was left on the counter. Maybe she can put some water into that and get the lily watered as she's heading out the door. As she puts the mug into the sink, it shatters. No, no, no. I don't have time for this. She reaches down to pick up the broken glass. Ouch! She shrieks. She grabs her finger and starts to see red droplets dripping down into the sink. Come on, man, I do not have time for this. But she remembers that she has a first aid kit under the sink. Her right finger's the one that's cut, and she's right-handed. So with her left hand, she reaches down and opens the first aid kit. She tries to use her mouth in coordination with her left hand to open the Band-Aid. I wish this was easier. That's when she has another idea. Someone needs to make a Band-Aid that's easy to open and apply with one hand. She does remember seeing a one-handed bandage somewhere on the internet, but according to its reviews, it wasn't very effective. She thinks they probably need to design it to look like a Scotch tape dispenser that pulls off the protective paper when you pull the bandage out. She says that way you could apply the bandage with one hand and not have to do this mouth-to-hand juggle. Mandy finally gets the Band-Aid on and throws out the broken mug pieces into the trash. She fills a different cup with water and pours it into her father's lily. She slides her shoes on, heads to the garage, and gets in her car. Sitting in the front seat, she pulls up Google Maps on her phone. Okay, it's 8:17 a.m. right now, and Google Maps says I'll be at work in 18 minutes. I might make it there on time if I'm lucky. So I need to find a podcast that's 18 minutes long. One ritual that Mandy never, ever skips is listening to new podcasts while driving to work. It's one part of her day that always brings her bliss. Okay, she says, This American Life, I see a 50-minute podcast. I see a 61-minute podcast. All right, what about Ask Me Another? I see a 40-minute episode. I don't have time for this. That's when Mandy has another idea. There needs to be a podcast player app that syncs with Google Maps. It will know how long I have to my destination and will find a podcast that I would like based on my listening preferences that will be the exact time of my commute. That way I can always listen to a full episode wherever I'm going and finish it before I get there. That would be cool. Since that doesn't exist, Mandy just settles for picking a random podcast, shifts her car into reverse, and starts backing out. Mandy starts thinking about her hectic morning. She thinks about all the ideas she had. For some reason, one of them really stands out. The color-changing plant pot. She starts thinking about the peace lily. Then Mandy starts to cry. Tears pour from her eyes as she presses her foot on the brake. She allows herself to ugly cry for a solid few minutes. Then she catches her breath and recenters. I can do this, she says to herself. I can do this. There's a reason why Mandy's running behind this morning. Why she hasn't bought new makeup brushes. Why dishes are dirty in the kitchen. Why she has to use GPS every day because she forgets how to get to work. Why her dad's lily hasn't been getting watered. Mandy's dad lost his battle with cancer 4 weeks ago. She's doing the best she can, but some days it's a struggle just to get out of bed. She does, though. She gets up and she goes about her day because she knows that's what her dad would want. She starts thinking about the peace lily again. She remembers something her dad said to her last Christmas that brings a strange warmth to her shoulders. You're full of ideas, kiddo. There's no question about that. Just promise me one day you'll pick one of your ideas and give it the shot it deserves. It'd be a shame for the world to miss out on the greatness that lives inside of you. Mandy wipes the tears from her eyes using her wrinkled shirt sleeve. She takes a breath and picks up her phone to see which podcast she randomly picked. It's called The Awakening. She remembers Emily talking about it. Something about turning your ideas into reality. She thinks about her dad. She really misses him. But she can think of a better way to honor his memory than to keep her promise to him. She starts thinking about how wonderful it would be if she were to take the sadness she feels about her dad and use it to bring the color-changing plant pot to the world. She starts to feel warmth in her stomach when she thinks about how proud that would make her dad. Then she wonders, after the morning she's had, if it was an accident that she stumbled upon this podcast. She takes a full, deep breath. And for the first time in a long time, she starts to feel like she knows what to do next. Today's commute feels a little different now. Like it's the start of something new. Maybe even something great. She smiles, lifts up her phone, and presses play. And that is where Mandy's story really begins. That's it for today's show. If you know someone who needs some creative inspiration, send them this episode. If opportunity doesn't come knocking, let's build a door.